But you didn't. But you didn't. Even then, did you think, "Oh, I want to play banjo"? Or you,
no, I didn't. It wasn't until
you just enjoyed watching it. And
yeah, it wasn't until 2000 that I actually bought one, and I decided to teach myself.
What brought that about? What was the impetus for that?
Well, I'd been through like a bunch of groups, and you know, I hit a plateau with guitar where I just didn't know what to do anymore. And to be honest, I was feeling like, well, it's funny to say it, everybody plays guitar. And you know, I wanted to stand out. It was a period in your life when you're trying to like define yourself, and I wanted to do something different. And I thought, well, if I learn how to play banjo, that's different. And I don't know too many people that are doing that. And maybe I'll, you know, pick that up. And it was brutal. Like I taught myself, and there was months where I just couldn't get it. And you know, I had all these records, and I'd listen to it, like people play, and it was just a really hard time. That late in life to start a new instrument, I think, was really difficult.
So did you consider taking lessons, or you just were like, no, I'm going to just do this myself?
No, I just thought I would teach myself, and then I moved into a different direction, and then I started using the banjo as like, you know, just an extra instrument. And then it was, you know, 3-4 years ago, around that time, when I decided that, you know, this is my main focus. And I still play a great deal of guitar. It's not electric though. But.
So coming to the banjo from guitar, what were the major differences, and what were the biggest adjustments you had to make after being fairly accomplished on guitar and being able to really play?
Yeah, it's tuned different. I mean, it's tuned, you know, to well, this is tuned weird, but you know, it's tuned to an open G. It's got a skinnier neck. It's heavy. It's round. You have to put it between your legs. I mean, just like everything about it was weird. And the hardest hurdle was wearing the picks. And when I first started, I put the picks on backwards, and you know, if I were to, you know, I put them on like this, because you think, oh, you want to hook the string, but actually they go on, you know, like this. So it's metal on metal, and it's really difficult because here's a barrier between your fingers and the strings. So it's difficult, and just getting used to these picks, it felt just bizarre to me. And there was many nights when I was just like freaking out and I couldn't do it. But I forced myself to do it, and you know, eventually you know.
Well, how did you approach it? I mean, what was your approach in just doing that? I mean, aside from spending a lot of time, were you just trying to play along with things? Were you listening closely, pausing a record, and then trying to play?
there was some of that. It was just applying guitar technique, which is maybe not the best thing. I was sort of trying to play what I could do on guitar on the banjo, which maybe wasn't the best because they are played differently in the way you approach the instrument. So. A lot of trial and error, I guess. Just, you know, you kind of know the sound. I mean, like a lot of people's first exposure to the banjo is like Beverly Hillbillies or like Bonnie and Clyde. You know, your classic Foggy Mountain breakdown, so they know what a banjo is supposed to sound like getaway music. You know, but it was really what it was used for in Bonnie and Clyde. You know, every time they rob a bank, like Foggy Mountain breakdown kicks in. So you had that in your vocabulary of what, you know, you know, like what it was supposed to sound like.
You didn't start dreaming about robbing banks or anything?
No, not at all. Yeah, so I bought my first one, and that was it, and I haven't really looked back since.